process of exercise, and freedom. Larry Ahoon and I, James Wiley, sitting here near the Safeway market, next to Starbucks coffee over here at the Safeway. Cyprus. There's a lot of towns with streets the name of Cyprus. I think it's safe to say the name of the street is Cyprus. It's as much, I guess, as anyone can make. What town would that be? Cyprus. There was a process which occurred, which was like a very free kind of psychological process. I saw my own, how do you say, babiness, and a manifestation of my own neurosis in connection with immaturity, something still to unbury and set free. In meeting with someone here at the coffee shop, I won't say what her name is, because this is something that is like a sort of prayer and healing process for many like her and many like me. There was a real sense of communication and blending. I met with this very, very attractive, very pretty girl who came to our table and asked us, what are you reading? And books, psychology, Fourth Way, Gurdjieff, and so on. We didn't go into that kind of detail with her. It was more like a process of making conversation. Larry and myself and her. And these things happen unplanned. This was unplanned. It turned to a process of Samson and Delilah without it going beyond a certain point, only brushing with the idea of Samson and Delilah. And I said to her, are you familiar with the story of Samson and Delilah? And you ought to look it up. It's a well-known story, Samson and Delilah. And the way I put it to her was, it's a story about a woman. It's one way to put it among many other ways, I suppose. A story about a woman entrapping a man. And the man, Samson, of course, all the time wishes to keep his manliness. Does not want to lose his manliness. He's a frog, sort of frog, turning into a prince. And the process for me was that there was no touching or sex offensiveness. It was all open like that. Said it all that way to her. Process of transmission, feeling of blending, like mutual teaching. All of life is our teacher. That Samson is a man attracted to the woman, at the same time he wishes to keep his sense of himself as a man, his manliness, not lose himself. sort of a momentary losing of yourself to find yourself. There was a feeling of that, a loss of sense of self, and then transmitting that to her as a process, said it to her like that, like a psychological process. I am Samson, meeting with you, you are Delilah. And this sense of myself wishing to keep my manliness, which is to say, purging of something that I am not. And even Larry said it. What did you say about her? That she's a baby. Well, that's me also. The baby in her blended with the baby in me. And I went into being 53 years of age. She looks no more than 18, 20. Taking that sense of responsibility upon myself, being sort of role-playing the teacher, and all open like that, not coming out to her, and saying it in that way, that I am like Samson, attracted to you, and yet at the same time I wish to keep my manliness. All open like that. That was the moment of maturity for me. That was the moment of freedom. Process of freedom for me was to sacrifice not only my attraction to her, which was immature and the stuff of babies, and there was even the smell of baby. Like if I had got involvement with this very sweet, beautiful girl, may mean having a baby, and there was a smell of baby in the air for a few moments there. So it was like giving that up by being so open about it. I saw a look of shock in her, but it wasn't that kind of shock that would happen if, let's say I was sex offensive and started feeling her up and, all of that kind of nonsense. It was the reverse of that. It's like purging another layer of the sex offender in me without being a sex offender, and becoming more human, more responsible to my age, perhaps transmitting something to this young girl which she will remember, because she was very awake to the process. And I will never see her again, probably never see her again. And in my moment of maturity now, I am saying and seeing to myself, that's where it ends. It was a process of like psychological healing for her and for me. It's beyond her to understand it and put it and formulate it in such a way as I am doing. So that's me taking responsibility in that little dance and drama with this young girl without any involvement. No sex offensiveness. It was the reversal of something, as I've already said, something babyish and immature in me. And it looked like a healing for her too. And perhaps it is opening a door for her dream to come true with some other guy more her age. Not me. It was like setting her free and setting myself free. It was a psychological process like that. How would you describe that? You, Larry Ahern.
Well, I didn't even realize all that was going on between you two.
So you fell asleep. You fell asleep and didn't. Well, so I went into all the dirty details there.
Well, that was when you left the table and you went over there to talk to her.
Yeah, it was quite a wonderful process of exchange and lifting of immaturity and feeling it as a healing and feeling better for it, feeling of freedom, exquisite feeling of liberation, freedom. Freedom.
Okay.
Yeah.